All right, y'all, it is March and it is lawn time. So I actually didn't have a tournament this weekend, so I'm free to be in the lawn this Saturday. We have a beautiful day and you can see that we are really greened up, especially here in the front yard. The backyard still deals with a few more shadows in the front, so it is lagging a little bit behind in certain areas, but we're gonna go ahead and scalp. And again, I keep my maintenance at about 0.5 inches, maybe 0.55 inches, so a hair above half an inch. Today, I've got my reel mower set to 3/10 of an inch, and I'm going to mow it with this machine, and then the plan is to bag it with this machine, and then I'm going to dump it on this tarp, and hopefully that makes for a little bit of an easier cleanup. So this isn't really a day, honestly, that I look forward to every year, just because it's a pretty hard day in the lawn. It's tough to do all this work, and I try to get it all done in one fell swoop, but it is a rewarding day and it sets us off on the right foot for the rest of the lawn season. So let's get into it. What's up, guys? I'm Rhett. Welcome back to Lawn Insider. Before we get the mowers going, I did want to briefly touch on why it's a good idea to scalp your Bermuda lawn heading into the spring lawn season. For those of you who are new to the channel or new to your Bermuda grass lawn, and I actually waited pretty late in the game to scalp. You can see I'm at about probably a 95% green up. You really can scalp when you're at about a halfway green up. So I'm a little bit late in the game, but as long as your grass is actively growing, you're really not going to do anything to your Bermuda grass as far as scalping it goes that it's not going to be able to recover from. So the goal is to take this top dormant layer, and you can see some of this paper sack brown mixed in with the green grass, and we want to set our machines at a lower height of cut than we're going to plan on maintaining at throughout the year, which for me is about half an inch, and I set mine to 3/10 of an inch, and I'm going to scalp away all of this top dormant layer as well as this new growth, and then I'm going to set my mower back to the maintenance height of cut, and then any new growth that we get is going to be green, and it's going to allow for a faster green up. And you can see that my yard helpers are getting bigger and bigger every year. So that's my son and my daughter there. This might be my daughter's, at least live action, YouTube debut here. You can see she is playing in the water table there. But once you do scalp away this top dormant layer and even the top little bit of new growth, you're going to allow more sunlight, you're going to allow more water, more nutrients to reach the soil layer and to reach those stolons. And that's going to basically kickstart your lawn. And scalping the lawn is one of those things that's not a difficult process to understand, but it is difficult to actually carry out just because it's a lot of hard work, so many clippings, and you do want to make sure that you are collecting your clippings, which is why I do have this tarp. And I'm hoping that having this commercial Honda over here to bag the clippings instead of using the grass catcher on my reel mower, I'm hoping that's going to speed up the process a little bit. All right, the scalping portion of the front lawn has gone off surprisingly without a hitch, which is very unusual for me in any sort of project. So I'm fully expecting something to go wrong here in the next stage, but I've already got the front scalped, and you can see we got rid of a lot of that green now, and it's at 3/10 of an inch. So the plan is to run the Honda and bag this all up, and I might need to drop it down another level, but bag this all up and then put it on the tarp, hopefully for easier cleanup. So the front yard's complete. Again, went fairly smoothly, so not too much to complain about there. And here is the finished product of my scalped front yard. And there is the pile for this front section so far. So not too big of a mountain just yet. I do want to show y'all just how thick Bermuda grass can get down here at the crown of the grass. And you can see how it's kind of understandable how some of our soil throughout the year, on top of the droughts and stuff, can become hydrophobic, because it's really difficult for the water in some cases just to make it down to the soil layer because of how thick this top layer of grass and stones is. And here we have it over here. Kind of the same story. You can see it is incredibly thick. I think we actually might have had like a higher concentration of clippings from this side. Obviously, that side we just have more yard, so it gave us a little bit bigger pile. But I think I was cutting more off on this side, and I would assume that has something to do with this side probably getting more sun than I'm getting over there, especially with the trees. Unfortunately, the bigger those trees get, the more mature those trees get, the worse my lawn is going to do on this side. So that is not currently a concern of mine, but I think it's pretty quickly approaching, considering this elm tree right here is getting pretty big pretty fast. And here is the current size of the pile here in the front yard. So now all we've got left is the backyard, which happens to be the biggest part of the yard. But I think I've actually got to go clean it up first. Got a few of my kids' toys back there, but I will clean that up and then we'll knock out the backyard. Cleanup is complete. Everything made it in the toy box. You can see we are clear now. I did want to show y'all what it looked like back here pre-scalp, and you can see we are relatively green. Except over here by the house, we are lagging a little bit, and that's just because we don't get full sun there except for maybe a couple of hours a day right before nightfall this time of year, but that will gradually increase, and then that area will green up as well. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I could have scalped much sooner, even probably 3 weeks, maybe even a month sooner, but since I waited a little longer, all this means is that it will green up more quickly post-scalp. And either tomorrow or maybe even this evening, I will go ahead and put out my pre-emergent application, which I was also super late on. Hopefully y'all have already done that. If you haven't, this is your sign to go ahead and do that. And I will also put out my first fertilizer application, and I will hit it with a granular. Well, the hard work is officially behind us for the day, and I wanted to go ahead and show y'all what the back lawn looks like so we can officially mark lawn scalping off of the spring checklist. We got that knocked out. It actually didn't go too bad today. We didn't really have any major hiccups. Usually I have something that goes wrong, but today, luckily, we were able to avoid all of those kind of the usual pitfalls. Usually it's something with the equipment seems to inevitably go wrong, but today somehow we swerved those problems. So hopefully that good luck continues on through the rest of the season. Here is the finished pile. I put a bucket there just so you could see a size comparison. So we were able to pull up quite a bit of that dormant grass, and it's pretty wide as well, so it's not just one tall stack of grass take you into orbit there around the pile. But that should do wonders for the lawn. Now everything from this point forward is going to be new green growth, and I'm going to raise my mower back to that maintenance height of cut and just mow regularly. Right now I can probably get away with one mow a week, but we are not too far from kicking that up to 2 mows a week. And then over the summer, especially if you're not regulated, it's really, you're looking at mowing probably every other day or every 3 days, but that's just part of the life of low cut Bermuda. If you are a person who likes to mow with a reel mower or a power cylinder mower. And here is the final look at the front yard. And like I mentioned, I am going to be putting down pre-emergent. I'm going to be putting down my first fertilizer application of the year. That stuff I will probably do tomorrow. Not sure whether or not I'll get those on video, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video right here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a like. If you're enjoying the content and you want to continue to see more of it, hit that black subscribe button below. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those in the comments section below. I'll see y'all again soon. Lawn Insider out.